ask the question, who are Marvel's most successful on-screen villains? Most people would answer Thanos, or maybe Zemo or Killmonger, perhaps even Tony Stark, but I disagree. Marvel's most successful on-screen villains have never actually been on screen, or at least not in their entirety. I am, of course, talking about the Sinister Six. The Sinister Six are a group of supervillains united by their hatred of Spider-Man. And over the years, there have been so many iterations of the group, with well over 30 villains being a part of it at one time or another. On paper, this makes it ideal for being in a film, because you don't need to introduce 6 brand new bad guys. You can basically just choose any existing Spidey villain, because chances are they've been in the 6 at least once. And when you look at some of the most famous members, they're really interesting characters. So it is a shame that they've never been in a film before. However, it is for exactly that reason I believe they're the most successful villains. They haven't been in any film, but they've been mentioned in association with all 3 Spider-Man series. And each time they're brought up, that Spider-Man series crashes and burns. First, let's have a look at Sam Raimi's 2002 to 2007 trilogy. This was a wide-scale success, and still, to this day, is many people's favourite iteration of Spider-Man. Despite a decidedly lacklustre response to Spider-Man 3, there was still a 4th film in the works for 2011, and a 5th and 6th being discussed as well. So, obviously, there was much discussion about who the major villain was going to be for Spider-Man 4. And many people, including the producer Grant Curtis, were rooting for the Lizard. However, in a 2007 interview with MTV, Sam Raimi stated that he would love to see Electro, Vulture, and maybe the Sinister Six in a team as the villains for Spider-Man 4. Imagine the excitement Spidey fans must have felt when hearing that there could be a team-up of villains fighting against their favourite hero. SM4 was set to be an amazing film, but we all know how that panned out. 11th of January 2010, Sony revealed that they were ending Sam Raimi's series in favour of a reboot. Goodbye, Sinister Six. So fast forward to 2014, and The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 have been released. And they were deemed, well, less than amazing. But that didn't matter. Sony had 2 more Amazing Spider-Man sequels planned, a Venom film, a potential spin-off Black Cat film, and, you guessed it, a Sinister Six film. This Sinister Six was far more fleshed out than Raimi's, and there was much speculation as to what the lineup would be. The most popular contenders came down to Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, Vulture, Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio, Scorpio, Rhino, and Venom. Sadly, this film was not to be. It was May 2015 when The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and all associated spin-offs, except for Venom, were cancelled. Looks like, yet again, the mere mention of the Sinister Six was enough to crumble Spidey, and this time send him running to the MCU. And that brings us to the present day. Now, I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. This version of Spidey fits so well into the MCU, and in the words of Stan Lee, he's practically perfect. And that was even before Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home is my favourite Marvel film of all time, and contains 2 of my favourite scenes from the whole MCU. And that mid-credit scene, that was so setting up for a 3rd film. And as you can probably tell, I was so excited about this. So immediately after the film, I, and seemingly everybody else, started theorising about the upcoming film. The villains had to be the Sinister Six. They were certainly set up to be. I'd actually planned a video where I was going to talk through my lineup for the Sinister Six, but as of 2 days ago, that is not going to happen. On August the 20th, 2019, it was announced that Sony and Disney would be splitting. So that means that Spider-Man and all associates are no longer part of the MCU. An agreement may yet be reached, but to be honest, it's looking unlikely. And it seems that the Sinister Six have struck again. 3 separate Spider-Man universes, each with the promise of the Sinister Six, fallen apart before the supervillain group could even make it to the screen. It seems, time and time again, that their threat is far too strong for Spidey to cope with. Our beloved hero has been defeated 3 consecutive times by the slightest mention of the Sinister Six. Is this a coincidence? Yeah, probably. But does that stop them from being the most successful Marvel villains of all time? Definitely not. So, does the curse of the Sinister Six mean we are destined never to see them fight Spider-Man? I hope not. It's a shame that it won't be in conjunction with the MCU. But maybe, one day, we'll see them take on Spidey for real, and find out if they can continue their 100% success streak. For real this time. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. It was so different from the one I had planned. Anyway, subscribe if you're new and like the video if you enjoyed it. Follow my Instagram and my Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video. I've got more Marvel theories upcoming, so stick around for that. Bye!